Hello students, in today's lecture I am going to discuss curvilinear motion. If a particle performs motion along a curve, it is said to have curvilinear motion. Now the question is, why a particle performs curvilinear motion? Now there can be two reasons. Reason number one, if the direction of force acting on the particle continuously changes, then the particle performs curvilinear motion. Reason number two, if the particle has some initial motion in a direction which do not coincide with the direction of force acting on the particle, then the particle performs curvilinear motion, which is well known to us, which is projectile motion. So curvilinear motion is the motion along a curve. Now the kinematics of curvilinear motion. In kinematics, we study velocity and acceleration rather than force acting on the particle. Means we study the motion without considering the forces which are acting on the particle. Again, in kinematics, as we deal with velocity and acceleration, and both of these quantities are vector quantities, we always prefer to split the vector quantities into their components. And in order to get the components of any vector quantity, we need to assume the reference system. The reference system to be assumed while dealing with the problem in curvilinear motion is it can be assumed in three different manners. The first way of assuming the reference system is x-axis and y-axis, means the traditional reference system. X-axis is to be considered as a horizontal line and y-axis as a vertical line perpendicular to this horizontal line. So x and y-axis. The second manner in which the reference system is assumed is the line which is parallel or along the tangent is considered as tangential direction, or let it be x-axis, and the y-axis is the line perpendicular to the tangent. So x-axis is considered along the tangent, y-axis is considered along the normal, and this set of reference axis is called as tangential and normal set of reference axis. The third way of assuming the reference system is, now here in order to assume the reference system, here we use the concept of position vector. Let the particle is performing motion along this curve, which is shown in black over here, and let it is the position of the particle at certain instant. So if I join the position of the particle with the reference system, that is x and y axis, then this vector is called as position vector. So if x axis is assumed parallel to this position vector or along the position vector, it is called as radial direction, and the another axis, say y axis, it is assumed perpendicular to this, so which is called as transverse direction. So there are three different systems in which the reference axis can be assumed: x and y axis, the traditional x and y axis. Second, x axis is considered along the tangent, y axis along the normal, and this system is called as tangential and normal type of reference system. And the third is the x axis along radial direction, y axis along the transverse direction, and the reference system is called as radial and transverse type of reference system. So again, in case of curvilinear motion, one thing you should always keep in mind is that the velocity in curvilinear motion is always along the tangent. So if I want to know the direction of velocity at position P, I will have to draw simply a tangent over there, and the velocity will be directed along the tangent at position P. If I want to know the direction of velocity at certain another position, say P dash over here, I will have to draw a tangent. So velocity is always directed along the tangent, and as such the direction of velocity is continuously changing. Direction of velocity is continuously changing, and at every instant the velocity will be directed along a different direction, and as such the components of velocity are changing in the respective manner. So here, if we assume the reference system as x and y axis in a traditional manner, that is x axis horizontal, y axis vertical, and the components are obtained, the components of velocity are Vx and Vy, where Vx is the component along x-axis, Vy is the component along y-axis, Ax is the component of acceleration along x-axis, Ay is the component of acceleration along y-axis. Now, tangential and normal components. V is the velocity along the tangent. Now, again, the velocity in curvilinear motion is always directed along the tangent. As such, its component along normal direction is always 0. So, Vn do not exist, and that is why whatever is the velocity along the tangent is the tangential component of velocity. So, tangential component of velocity and velocity are same in case of tangential and normal direction. Normal component is absent, but acceleration. Now again, I have told you that velocity is always along the tangent, but what about the acceleration? In case of curvilinear motion, the acceleration is never along the tangent, it is along certain another direction. And as it is not along the tangent, means it is at certain another direction, it is going to have both of its components along the tangent as well as normal, and the component of acceleration along the tangent is called as tangential component, which is denoted by At, and the component along the normal direction is denoted by An. So, these are the components of velocity and acceleration along the tangential and normal direction. Now, if we prefer the radial and transverse type of reference system, Vr is the component of velocity along radial direction, V theta is the component of velocity along the transverse direction, Ar is the component of acceleration along the radial direction, A theta is the component of acceleration along the transverse direction. So, assume the reference system, you can assume any of these three reference system, and you always go for the convenient one. Sometimes we find that the x and y axis, that is rectangular type of reference system, is the convenient one. In some problems, tangential and normal type of reference system will work out to be convenient, whereas in some cases radial and transverse type of reference system will be convenient. So, depending upon your convenience or depending upon the data which is given in the problem, we can assume the reference system, and accordingly we can resolve the velocity and acceleration into its components. Now, here in this video, let us deal with the rectangular components. Now, here what I have done is that, suppose this is the curve along which the particle is moving, and at certain instant, let the position of the particle is p over here. Now, we know that velocity is tangential, so I have shown the velocity along the tangent direction, and at this position I have drawn y and x axis, and if I resolve the velocity along x direction, let it be Vx, the velocity or component of velocity along y direction, let it be Vy, and the angle made by V with x direction is alpha. Then the component of V along x direction will be V cos alpha, we can get Vx. Similarly, we can get Vy also V sin alpha. So, if Vx and Vy are known, we can obtain V as V is equal to root of Vx square plus Vy square, and the angle made by the velocity V with the x direction can be obtained by using this angle alpha, and it is given as tan alpha is equal to modulus of Vy upon Vx. Now, the velocity is always along the tangent, but acceleration is never along the tangent. Let it is the direction of acceleration which is shown over here, and it is making an angle beta with the x direction. So, knowing the acceleration, knowing the angle made by it with one of the reference axis, we can get the components of acceleration as ax and ay. Once we know ax and ay, we can get the resultant acceleration a, that which is also called as total acceleration. A is equal to root of ax square plus ay square, and the angle made by this total acceleration with x direction beta, if it is beta, then tan of beta is given as modulus of ay upon ax. So, this is how we can get the rectangular components of velocity and acceleration Vx, Vy, Ax and Ay. Now, in the next video, I am going to deal with the tangential and normal components of velocity and acceleration, and in the next video to this, I am going to deal with the radial and transverse components also. So, please stay connected and do subscribe to my channel.